Welcome, everybody. You ever feel like your life is just too complicated? There's too much family drama going on. You don't know who you love sexually and who you're related to. Sometimes it's both.
Welcome to the attic.
It's VC's Peasies. Tip of the tips, top of the twos.
Tip on your tape. Tip on the
tips.
tape. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. It's been a hot tit.
It's been two hot tits even. we have not seen each other since last year.
It's been like 6 weeks since we've seen each other.
Oh my God, Wait.
What?
Here, talk to dear listener for a sec.
Hi, dear listener. We have a little wackadoo timeline here.
Wackadoo.
Where we kind of ebb and flow. We ebb and flow. I'm talking into two microphones. We ebb and flow. We'll record a few holidays, take time, and we didn't see each other for about 6 weeks. And here we are. We did a quick.
Oh,
we did it
too.
I'm talking into two. Hi, hello. You handed it to me like I should talk into it.
Down.
Okay. We're here. Post holiday, post home test. We're safety ladies.
Yeah, we're safety ladies.
We're safety ladies. And it's been time. You won't know this. This is probably going to come out after January.
Oh yeah.
So
wait,
yep, it will.
Yeah.
I wrote it down.
Yeah. Okay,
ma'am. I have.
But what I need to tell you right now is that I have a gift for you from my friend Justin, who is a fan of VC Species podcast, which you are tuning into. Happy Christmas.
Woof. This is exciting. It's the 4-movie series from the best-selling author of Flowers in the Attic, V.C. Andrews' Landry family, which we just tucked into.
Just started.
It's a fresh tuck, which I love.
I love a neat tuck.
Crisp one.
I actually love a meaty tuck, too. Not gonna lie.
A meaty mound.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. Thank you, Justin.
Have I met Justin? I think so. Okay.
Great to meet you that time, and I definitely remember.
At my birthday party, so when I brought that.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Stuff, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Great. Shit. Anyway, that was some administrative tasks. You guys don't ever really break the curtain. We don't show the man behind the curtain. But here's the man behind the curtain. We do a few episodes and then we don't see each other for a bit.
Oh yeah.
You, the listener, just think we meet weekly. We don't.
Do you think that? Maybe you think bi-weekly because that's when they come out.
We can buy anything we want.
Opulence. So anyways, good morning, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back to VC's Pieces podcast. I am your host, Tia.
I am also hosting duty. And I'm Katie.
You are.
And today, honk.
Woof.
White Fern, the sequel to the former standalone. And I'm saying it right now, and I said it before, so I'll say it again.
Please.
That it ruined the specialness of Audrina.
Yep.
Audrina was like special because it was the only book that wasn't a multi-arc book event. Even though you suspect that it might have been set up to be so.
I
question
was.
that. I don't think so. I think it was just an ending.
I disagree, but...
So this is White Fern, which is a motherfucking sequel.
When did that come out? 2012, 2014? Many moons after.
Yeah, so many. Like, it is old. Like, Audrina book is old enough to be White Fern book's parent.
Whoa.
2016.
Damn!
2016.
That is so farther... Okay.
Yep.
Anyways.
You know, Virginia Andrews are registered trademarks of something. So here we are on the... This is also the edition I have. Do they have a flap? I don't think there's a flappable version.
You mean a step back version?
A step.
I don't know. I didn't see that
I
on
really
thrift
didn't.
books.
I didn't look super hard. I was like, yeah, cheap.
I wonder if they just stopped doing step backs after a while.
That's a little upsetting.
Oh, I don't want to look it up.
Yeah, we won't. We'll just know. We'll just know. We'll know when it happens.
If anyone knows, don't tell us. Let us find out on our own. You don't have to tell us. It's no Santa Claus.
So here's the back.
Back flap it away. Katie.
Flap it. White Fern swallowed Audrina's childhood, and now the sprawling Victorian mansion threatens her adult life in this long-awaited sequel to My Sweet Audrina. No one was waiting.
I was not waiting.
Nope. Waiting room, empty. Audrina remembers a better time when her husband Arden was a young man with a heart filled with devotion for her. He didn't used to be this ambitious, this expansive, this cruel. But then the death of Audrina's father changed a great many things. When the reading of her father's will reveals that Audrina herself will control 51% of the family brokerage, the halls of Whitefern again don't feel safe. Arden's protestations. They hacked that word in half. Protestations.
I don't think I've ever heard
protestation
go into that.
I mean, I've read it.
Okay. Anyways.
I'm educated.
Carry on.
Zip, became frantic, nearly violent. And while Audrina didn't anticipate running the family business, she's curious to do so. And she can't help but wonder what had made her father change his will at the last minute. What did he know about Auden that she didn't? Trapped in the middle of it all, her fragile, simple sister. Ouch. The beautiful, trusting Sylvia. Audrina promised her father she'd watch over the young woman, but after years of relative quiet, the dark days of Whitefern may have returned.
Another flap that's misleading.
Yeah, the brokerage thing is a thing, but it's not the thing.
Well, also, they're like, and after, like, it literally starts with her father being dead.
That's my number one note. Number one, I opened, Daddy dies at the opening.
Or Papa dies. And then there was a really messed up passage because she was saying that he tried to convince me when I was a child that I was the older sister of dead sister, Audrina, the perfect little girl after whom I was supposedly named.
I was like, what?
Again, hi. Who's out there listening?
That is who?
Niederman's people.
Please.
I can edit this. I can edit this. Please let me edit this. Please let me help you.
Daddy dies at the opening. Noted, Arden was impatient about it.
About him dying?
Yeah, he was like, oh, fuck, come on. He has to get back to the brokerage. Because Papa had so many, like, almost dyings.
Oh, right, yeah, because he was like,
oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Come on.
I thought it was super awkward that Audrina had mentioned that Papa had sexy eyes.
Thank you. Papa would always flirt, even with me. He's 6'5", older now with dull eyes. 6'5".
Okay. I don't think he was that tall last time, by the way.
we did acknowledge the hulking daddy.
Yeah.
Arden, he's way harsher about Sylvia, like always following Papa around.
Yeah. There's like a completely different... Let's get this out of the way.
Let's address this.
Completely different in this book than the last book.
Yeah.
And
that's a lot of my notes, actually, is like writing down like what Arden did and being like, nope.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Like 1,000%. It's like Naderman was like, you know what?
I need a villain.
And you know what I don't like?
Men.
Men who are kind and have women feel strong and protected around them. I hate that.
There was a bit I didn't know, but I'm now remembering that Sylvia like saved Papa from falling down the stairs or something. I don't know. Okay. Somehow Sylvia grew more to look like Lucky than Audrina, whom we were to believe last time was like looked exactly like Lucky.
Yep. I don't know. And she also is referred to like, oh, the same strange hair that I have, Sylvia has, and like I don't know. I guess I actually grew into that.
Yeah, this book came out of.
I don't think he read the last book.
I also do not think that.
I don't think so. It was really weird. So yeah, Audrina has left 51% of the business from Papa and his will, and Arden is pissed.
He demands.
Almost immediately, he's like, "You don't even know my secretary's name," and she's like, "I do. It's this." And he's like, blah, blah, blah. "Fine."
Arden wanting to sell art for stock money is not a very Arden vibe.
No!
He would rather paint a picture and write a book. If we can call back.
It was a really good callback.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He wants this place to look nice. And Papa, like, held on to, like, the dusty old furnishings.
Yeah, he was like, it gives...
It's character. He's like, this is what, like... it is noted that he, like, did safety improvements. Mm-hmm. And, like, did a little this and a little that. But he's like, let's look a little dusty.
I 100%... I ship that.
You're going to want to, like, side mouth into the side that has the microphone on it. Also, when Arden is, like, he's railing at Audrina, whose father just died and was just revealed that she owns majority of the brokerage. I don't know much about stocks. She owns half of the brokerage. So he's like, nah. People have to trust their broker. People don't know you. These families. These staid old families with their money. And, he's like, when he married my mother, didn't fucking happen. That did not fucking happen one iota.
Oh my God, they didn't get married. You're right. She was just living up in there.
They just were doing handies.
You caught something I didn't get.
Ooh. Let me just take a little celebratory sip.
Hey, I'll give one to you too. Cheers. No, it's too fluffy.
It is a fluffy one. I did note in the middle of all this, it was noted that Sylvia was cut into a great and ample-bosomed woman.
Of course she was. You either have budding breasts or ample bosom.
Right. Nary like a regular bazoomed woman.
I just don't think that even mentioned.
Why mention a bazoom if not ample?
Yeah. Or budding.
Or non-existent. Flat as a board, easy to nail. Anyway.
Oh.
So basically, Arden is Papa 2. He's Papa 2.
Yeah, he wants to be. It's just like crazy. They have a funeral and he's like, it is such inappropriate funeral behavior.
Yeah, he's treating it like a schmooze event.
Yeah, he's like so pumped to be like, I'm the big cheese now. Let's schmooze.
Big cheese. You big fucking Swiss.
Like, he literally told people, if going to the actual graveyard, like, doesn't work in your schedule, don't worry about it. We're going to have a party afterwards.
We're going to just kind of my head.
And he was just hobnobbing.
Yep.
Just hobnobbing.
He was being, yep. Mm-hmm.
Inappropriate.
Later on, Sylvia goes digging for Papa.
Yeah, disappears in the night.
She is talking full sentences now.
Yeah, all of a sudden. And we're led to believe throughout it that, like, she had been a lot more communicative the whole time.
Early on, I noted that her retardation, as noted, becomes just immaturity.
Yeah, it's weird. It
is weird, but it's not... I don't want to go there. It's not cool to armchair diagnose.
No.
This is a fictional character. But I'm really getting a strong autism spectrum vibe.
Yeah, but, like, at the end of the last book, how old was Sylvia?
In her early... like 12... 13,
maybe something like that. It wasn't that long ago, and like she was barely saying words. Like it was the first time she said Audrina.
Yeah,
and it was super like stuttered and and difficult for her to say. And in this book, anytime they talk about Sylvia when she was younger, it seems like it was not that challenging.
I don't want to I do have a personal connection to the autism world, so it's like I'm picking up a lot of things that I was like, oh, okay, balance, coordination.
Oh yeah,
those things early on, not talking and then talking, but maturing on a slower timeline. I don't want the listener to think that I'm just pulling. Okay,
she's not pulling. Sure.
They have it together, Tubby, after the Diggins.
Yeah.
Okay, different face that you made than I made.
I think that's fine.
Two adult women having a Tubby together.
Well, yeah, but we're led to believe...
They're trauma bonding.
Yeah, but we're also led to believe that, like, Sylvia's got the mind of, like, a
child,
less than 10-year-old sort of situation. And, like, it wasn't like they were washing each other like those creepy twins. They just, like, both went in a huge bathtub at this estate.
All right, fine. Sylvia is a painter. She has great artistic ability. Yeah,
I don't know if when I got to there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, I had a couple of other things.
Yeah, dude, because I was just like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is happening?
Well, they mentioned this guy, Mr. Ralph. They're like, Mr. Ralph's been working here forever. And I was like, who the fuck is Mr. Ralph? Like, they never mentioned Mr. Ralph. I didn't
even know Mr. Ralph.
I know, and they bring him, and I was like, okay, he's going to be like a thing. They mentioned like 2 more random times, it doesn't matter. But I thought that was really weird. Like clearly someone who was like, they're like, all right, we're going to add this character. And it's like, oh shit, I didn't do anything with it.
Forgot Mr. Ralph.
Arden tells Audrina that she should just teach Sylvia how to clean and polish the floors and furniture.
I did note that Arden apparently thinks, quote unquote, what they call special talents are wasted on a person with a disability.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Woof.
And he's super gross about Audrina's infertility.
Super gross.
Yep, just a total asshole. I do have a all caps note that I made that just says, Arden just 100 sucks now.
Yeah, a lot of talk about how beautiful Sylvia is and how everyone knows it, and sexy sex talk.
Yep. Oh yeah, Audrina refers to like, oh, Papa used to call my hair a hat of rainbows. He never said that.
Never said a hat of
Literally
never
never
said
said
hat of rainbows.
Apparently, Papa called it.
It's like one of those. I'm getting like one of those like bucket hats. From
Yes,
the early
with
aughts
streamers.
With streamers.
Oh, please send us a bucket hat with streamers to
Rainbow streamers. Yep.
vcspecies@gmail.com. Yeah, she do art and
She do art.
paints a shady Papa in the woods. Then Audrina finds her in the rocking chair later.
Hang on. I feel like we took notes in tandem, but to speak to how completely bananas and disorganized this book is, we're just saying things that we wrote down that are true and happened-ish. Like there were no touchstones until maybe the middle of the book. So we're just saying stuff. I don't remember if that happened before or after the note I'm making. Who knows? So there's lots to talk about how beautiful Sylvia is. Sexy sex talk. And Arden knows how virile he is. Look at the way I make love. So good!
Yeah.
He's like...
That's when he was being
That's
gross
why he
about
said
the
so gross.
infertility.
He's like, I'm so good at it. So good! It's so good! It's your fault there's no babies.
Yeah, he's like, clearly it's not me because I'm good at fucking...
I'm so fucking good at pumping my wiener in.
He's like, what, were you traumatized or something as a child?
When you were like child raped and I didn't do anything. Audrina wants a job and Arden calls Sylvia brain damaged.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. Audrina wakes up to the wind blowing through the cracks in the house. Girl, weatherize that shit. There's programs out there. I'm sure you're not low income. Yeah, okay. It says, I wrote down, Arden is a super mega dick about this baby thing. And then I wrote, they still use the term first Audrina for some reason.
Why not? Why not?
Was she not then? Or was she...
No, she is. I think they were talking about the before the trauma Audrina.
I have this. Can you see the screenshot that I screenshotted?
Yeah.
Did you also...
Like a little bit.
Yep.
So Sylvia does art. She paints a shady Papa in the woods, and then Audrina finds her in the rocking chair later that night. She says she used it to talk to Papa, and he told her that Audrina would have a baby.
Paint the baby.
She goes back into the bedroom and tells Arden, like, "Oh yeah, Sylvia's saying this stuff,"
wacky.
and then he fucking does the grossest sex at her. He does the grossest sex at her.
I'm so upset.
I'm so upset.
She has so much trauma that no one cares about.
No one cares. I care. Do you care?
Sure.
Wow, I care.
In so much as that this is a fictional character.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You know I barely care about real people.
I know.
So, but that's upsetting. Because she says like, he just contorted my body to his need. It was surprising how quick he was ready.
Yeah, he was like, oh, okay, yeah, Sylvia's has a baby. Okay, and then just like flings her feet over her head and is just like...
Just pumping. And chants, baby, baby, baby.
Just chanting baby.
He's chanting
into her
baby,
womb.
baby, baby. Into her womb?
Into her vagina.
Ugh.
Chanting it. It's so fucking gross.
Yeah, it does. Let's see, what does it say? Let's see. I did a screenshot. He hovered above me like a hawk, pouncing. Baby, 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 he chanted as he pushed and prodded, twisting me this way and that so he could be more comfortable. His grunts made it sound like he was lifting a heavy weight. Aw, baby. I couldn't stand the sight of him like this and put my hands over my eyes. On he pushed and prodded. I felt like he was tearing me up. The bed sounded like it would crash into the floor. At one point, my head hit the headboard, but he was oblivious to everything but his own animal satisfaction. This wasn't even sex to me. It was anger and revenge.
Ugh.
Who's he revenging? Not having a baby?
Yeah. The fact that he did not like treat his traumatized wife with love and acceptance.
Support therapy?
Because she talked about a few doctor's appointments where the doctor was saying, like, both of you are in great working order. I don't know why you're not doing babies.
And he was like, oh, with your fucking rape trauma.
Yeah. Which, again, like, if you are joining us for this and did not listen or watch the Audrina episode, that is not the Arden that we
That's not
left.
the Arden
we
knew.
left with at all. Except for on the wedding night, actually.
So okay, I was going to say for a man, but like the first one was Versmicious.
Versmicious Knid.
Versmicious Knid with a C. The idea that like men are disgusting and primitive around sex is a very interesting idea. Let's not delve into that. So then the next note I wrote was, why is Sylvia naked in bed?
Yeah.
Look, we all know.
There are a lot of things we know.
We know.
I don't remember who this was about, but I have a
Much like this book, we don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a note that says unripe peach complexion. Lol.
It's not peaches and cream, it's unripe.
Yes,
That's an unripe peach.
Is it hard? Would you want a firm complexion? No.
She got a real fucking hard
It's orange? I don't know. I can't remember who it was about, but yeah.
I'm sure it was Sylvia.
Oh, no. You know what? I think it was maybe she was talking about the... she ran into her old principal at the grocery store. So I'm guessing that's what it was, because the next note I have is Audrina hires an art teacher, Mr. Price, for Sylvia.
There's a lot of so one time I said this and Arden said that and then Sylvia did this.
Yes.
I'll come back to that in a second, my thoughts on that, because it went pretty quick to I have to draw the baby or the baby won't come, and my thought was, much like a magical Negro, is Sylvia a magical R word?
Yeah. Sexy tight bud.
Tight. The art teacher, Mr. Price, he used to work especially with special education, and so there's a little bit of acknowledgement in that, because it's a lot of like Sylvia's like immature, and he's like, no, I did special ed, so like I'm cool. He's a retired art teacher. He's doing private art lessons, I suppose, because he's bored in retirement. And when he arrives, he compliments Sylvia's looks first.
Yep.
He's like, you look beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And then I wrote paint the baby again. I couldn't let this go.
Yeah, she
paint the baby. So, and as I return to my statement of there's a lot of and this and this and this. Lots of and then one time we did this, and then this time, and then I did that, and then this happened, and then Arden said this, and I thought that. It's just like a better writer would have set that up on like a longer timeline. And we, the reader, would have just we would have known and gone on that journey and believed these things about characters instead of like a 2-page summary of like, so one time Sylvia was like, what's sexy times? And then another time I was like this. And then this time I thought about Sylvia doing this and Arden said that. And there we are. So we just need to establish a part about someone's character.
Not only that, but Aunt Elsbeth and Vera are mentioned constantly. Constantly, like,
in what universe were all these characters?
They weren't like, they were like, oh, and this happened, and like they always.
No, it fucking didn't.
We're like, why do you say things weird, Sylvia? She didn't say anything at that point. Like, it was so weird. Like every single thing was a callback to Aunt Elsbeth or Vera in things that we, the reader who has just read that book,
did not.
Is like that didn't happen.
So whenever any point needs to be made, it's a 2-page summary of, and then one time, and then this happened, so that we get the fucking point. Whereas perhaps on a longer, better structured timeline, we would have naturally come to that point.
You know, I just want to get this out here right now.
This
is going to be a challenging episode for us to record, because this book
is all over the fucking place.
It's all over the place, and like it just keeps like flashing back to nowhere.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I think you mean it's going to be the best one.
It's gonna be the best one. So Audrina has this weird nightmare where she like thinks she hears Sylvia in the rocking chair again, and then she goes and she sees like. She's like, oh, I see Papa talking to her, but like, oh no, it's Arden and he's nude and like, yeah, and I'm like, yo, are they?
Did you skip over the part where Audrina says she wants her broker license?
I just didn't even write it.
Oh, well, she wants her broker's license. She's like, I'm going to be a broker, which, P.S. spoiler alert, never fucking happens.
No.
And
I'm fine with her sort of keeping him at bay, though, because he keeps being like, we have to call this lawyer. You need to change the will.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, the lawyer, you can sign the papers tomorrow.
The lawyer said you don't even have to be here. You can just put your fingerprint on
I
there.
read that he was like a little sketched out by that. The lawyer was like,
Later, because she hadn't signed it. And he was like, what? This isn't as cool as you said it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was later.
Because it was like, oh, she's so grief-stricken. Can she just like come print the thing?
Yes.
Sell her shares.
Her 2% to Arden, or the whole thing.
Yeah, whatever.
Which
So
would mean that because she looked into it, and that meant that he would have been in charge of everything, including White Fern.
And her and everyone's money.
Everything.
Inheritance,
And
her, Sylvia. And she was like, that doesn't sit
Yeah,
right
she
with
like
me.
didn't want Sylvia to end up in a home.
Good.
Fair.
Great. She
But
was
another
like,
thing was she was like, I know Arden's probably going to update this house, and like I'm not fucking ready for that, and I do like it this way, and I know
my
it's weird, but
dusty
whatever.
antiques.
Yeah, I would love some dusty antiques. I have some.
yeah, that is, I forgot to mention, there's a lot of, she was like, it said more than once, she's like, I don't want Sylvia to go into a home.
Yep.
That is not okay with me.
Yeah, and he's like, whatever.
He's like, well, she's brain damaged.
And she's like, she ain't though. And also she's like, let me actually read this, and he's like, you don't need to read it.
And then he won't stop talking about not having a child or a family. And he said, I wrote, adoption is not an option for Arden Pouty Pants. And then I wrote, in what timeline did Vera and Sylvia get drunk when Elsbeth was around?
Never.
That was like mentioned, there was like wine happening.
Yeah, it's like, and Sylvia projectile vomited everywhere.
And Vera laughed, and on Elsbeth said this, and I was like, that didn't fucking happen.
It didn't fucking
That
happen.
didn't fucking happen.
If that was something...
Because, no, shut your mouth. You shut your fucking mouth.
You shut your fucking mouth.
When Vera came back as an adult, Elsbeth wasn't there, but Sylvia was there, but she was like 10, right?
Yeah.
10, 11-ish?
Oh yeah, Elizabeth had already died, right?
Yes.
When she came back? Yeah. Yes.
And then I noted, because now my question for you is how old is everyone here? Sylvia, 20. Does that make Audrina 30?
29, because Sylvia was born on Audrina's...
I was like trying to...
ninth birthday, not ninth birthday.
But plus a couple.
She is 30, yeah.
She's like 30-ish.
30, 31, something like that.
Okay,
yeah.
great. I figured out this time, listener. I figured out this time. Because they do, the concrete thing we have is that Sylvia is about 20.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what they said. Like, I think, Daddy Papa died when Sylvia was 20.
And Arden's a couple-ish years older than Audrina.
Can I?
Yep.
Okay, did you think that it was interesting? Because I feel like the last, in My Sweet Audrina, it was really just like Audrina and Sylvia. No one gave a shit about Sylvia, except for Audrina. Like, Billy was very nice, but mostly it was just like, she's a lost cause, blah, 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 blah. And then when Audrina was going to leave, it was like, Sylvia was like, no, Papa. Why? What happened with their relationship? There was no relationship between the two of them.
What do you mean?
Because it was like, when Audrina went to like leave, she's like, I'm leaving White Fern. I want to take Sylvia with me. Sylvia did this like, no, I got to stay with Papa.
I
This
think
is where
she
I
wanted to
belong.
stay at White Fern.
No, but they made it about being about Papa. And
I think Papa was stricken because he realized what a responsibility Sylvia would be.
But
that was how I read it.
But in this book, they keep talking about like, oh, immediately Sylvia was like Papa's favorite, and he loved her more. Like,
I read that as quote unquote the first Audrina. Her special quality was just being enamored and loving Papa. So perhaps that's just what he wanted.
I know, but I didn't see that happen at all until it was like Audrina was like, let's go, and then she was like, no.
You know what we should have had? I'm sorry. As I drained my cup, we should have had blackberry wine. There's a lot about Papa's blackberry wine and also drinking with the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Tottering around on his blackberry wine.
I mean, why not? Anyways.
Arden comes all rumpled from the area where Sylvia's room is.
Page 126, I noted budding breasts.
Oh, whose?
I don't know, I can look actually. Where is it?
Oh, well, where it do be?
All I wrote was page 126, budding breasts.
So Arden comes all rumpled from where Sylvia's room is, and Sylvia is radiant the next morning. Mm-hmm. From coming.
Oh, she was... I remembered when I first had it, when I first met Arden, it both frightened and excited me simultaneously. I wanted to understand it, this tingle in my budding breasts.
So she can't hate you, then.
That traveled through my body, but I didn't want anyone to know about it, especially Vera or my aunt Elsbeth.
Hold up.
Oh, it's because they were at the restaurant and this young man Raymond.
That's what I wrote. Sylvia gets hit on at the diner, and perhaps it gives her a wee tingle.
Yep.
So you got, even if your kid has a developmental delay, you got to teach him about sex and sexuality.
Yeah, tingles happen no matter what.
You gotta. You may feel like you shouldn't, but it's life. They're gonna live it. And Audrina's I wanted to spare her the eventual heartache. Sure, I guess. Yeah. I mean, that's a real whatever read on it. So he says he's a plumber's apprentice, and Sylvia's I think our pipes.
Yeah.
She's looking for a plumber to flood her basement, if I can say that.
You can say that.
She wants her basement flooded.
She's like, hey,
I think,
broken?
Do we have broken pipes? Do we need to call a plumber?
That was really cute.
It is. So that is a big ol' signal of some type. I also noted that they're still inaccurate clocks. They mentioned...
Yeah, why are they still inaccurate?
Near. Audrina, at this point, still won't sign those papers for the brokerage.
So...
Okay, who gives a fuck? No one. Arden, not me.
All of a sudden that night, Arden's just being nicer.
Yeah.
To everybody.
Because he just jizzed in Sylvia.
Oh, okay. So, but then
he pumped in her.
So he was nice. And I was that's really cool. And that night we made love more softly and affectionately than we had in years. Maybe he was simply testing his theory that if I welcomed sex, my body wouldn't resist fertilization. Maybe if he showed me true love, he too would be more potent.
Wow.
There was no twisting and jerking me around to make himself more comfortable. There was more concern for my comfort and pleasure. Okay, and this he entered me gracefully and waited for me to accept him and open myself to him. He entered me gracefully. He tipped his fedora and he was madam.
Oh, so he's uncut.
I don't know. I
was imagining a foreskin fedora.
Yes, I know. But
okay,
he gentlemanly bowed.
So every other time he rammed it in there with not a whit of care.
He entered me gracefully. I'm just picturing a pâte-à-monter.
A pas de bourrée.
That one, right?
I think that's a ballet move, right?
Yes.
Pas de bourrée. Okay.
Yeah, I said it wrong.
There's a powder room.
There's a powder room. Hey.
There's a powder puff.
It entered me gracefully. I just had such a hard time with that. I actually wrote, he entered me gracefully. Woof. That's not sexy.
Oh my god.
A low bow and then a whoop.
Get the other bottle in here. I can't take it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah. That's what I noted. Aside from all that, I notated Arden comes home a little too nice.
Yeah.
They also note his drinkins. Mm-hmm. Please hold while Tia refreshes my alcoholic beverage. Entering gracefully. Kitty cat trippins.
And he tried to kill me.
Please hold while my alcoholic beverage is refreshed. Deedly deedly dee.
We should probably talk because it's going to take me
Entering gracefully.
No. Gross. Nope.
You know what's great / awful about this book?
Everything not even great.
I didn't even note that. He entered me gracefully. That's fucking hilarious. Not in my memory bank.
Yeah, how did you not ugh.
I was hyper focused on
wait. I had that elusive orgasm time after time. He laughed about it and then brought himself to a satisfactory climax.
Stop it.
the hell? By the way, guys, in the paperback, that is page 130.
Enjoy that. Oh God, I can't come back from that.
It is so hard to focus on this goddamn book because everything was like a memory that didn't happen. Like, now, oh my God, no, she squeezed me.
Now where, Audrina? What's real?
That's what I've been saying this whole time since we started reading these, and everyone's ages were wrong. I have made this reference so many times. Don't fucking gaslight me.
Woof. Yeah. So here we be. And the next thing I wrote down was Sylvia nude models.
Yep.
So her
Mr.
art
Price is
teacher,
drawing
Mr. Price.
topless.
Yeah, she's modeling topless.
Because she was like, hey, Audrina, like, I'm actually uncomfortable when you come in the room all the
Yeah,
time.
because she would supervise the, what do you call it, art lessons. And then she was like, you know what, also...
Friends.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Should have warned you, turn your volume down. So Audrina...
Scrub it back, then turn the book.
Can you rewind it and then turn it down? So she supervises because also no one comes into their little enclosed white furnace world. So she's like, I don't know who's going to treat my sister with respect. Fair. So then there, what's her name, Sylvia?
Drink your juice, Shelby.
What? Who's Shelby?
It's from Steel Magnolias.
I've never seen it.
Me neither, but I know I say that quote.
Should
with
we
my friend
see it?
Chris Leva. We should watch it. Sally Field.
Subscribe to our non-existent subscription model, and we'll talk shit about it, or not.
I don't think we will. I think people get upset.
Okay.
Julia Roberts, Olivia Dukakis.
Ooh, her name's great because it has cock in it.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I know. Anyway, so Audrina will she was like out walking and like her spidey senses were like tingling. She's like, I have to go to the cupola.
Cupola. Yep.
Cupola.
Right, because she like ended up at the tree and it was like, go back, Audrina.
She told her to go back. And so no, you felt that.
This is what I usually do when trees tell me to do something. Like, noted.
Noted. Oh, the trees are talking to me. This isn't good. Maybe I should go home and lay down. The trees are talking to me. If the trees are talking to you, go home and lay down, or call like a crisis line of some type,
or just fucking
or talk back.
Congratulations, you are a fairy queen.
Okay, one of those. Mm-hmm. So she nude models. She runs in and like the teacher's like drawing her nude, but Sylvia like kind of fucking likes it, and I'm upset that Audrina won't let her explore her sexuality.
Yeah, but like this is like a retired married man, and she was like, "Hey, did he tell you that you were supposed to say you felt uncomfortable?" And she's like, "Yeah." I don't know.
No one learns from the past, and the cupola incident is just swept under the rug. Because Arden's like, I'll take fucking care of it.
Yeah, Arden gets Audrina to take fucking like Prozac nightmare pills. He's like, take this. I went to a doctor. I pretended I was you or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I wrote down, Arden suggests psychotropic meds. And then I went, emotional invalid. Nice. Pill time air horn noise.
Yeah, you definitely want Audrina to just get random secret fucking medications.
These are my notes. This is great. Random pills with no name on them. Mm-hmm. Someone at the store said you look like a bag lady.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Because Audrina was feeling super depressed.
She was
like quote unquote, let this happen to Sylvia.
Yeah, because her whole life has been stop it. Protecting Sylvia and keeping her from abusers and people who take advantage of her. And as soon as she lets her guard down, it happens. So she feels extremely guilty.
Someone at the grocery store said you look like a bag lady.
Yeah, that do happen. All these years, Audrina's never gotten therapy. Just FYI, friends.
We forget that initial therapy that worked super well.
Okay, I didn't... Yeah. Anyway, pills make Audrina sleep so much not to interfere with the atmosphere. He was like, this is the atmosphere? He's like, you're throwing the vibes off, bitch. He was like, the atmosphere needs to be nice in this bitch. So, yeah. He definitely says the atmosphere, which is like, AKA my vibes are off.
Yep. And then my note after the Prozac nightmare pills was, Sylvia deaf preggers. Audrina is a bad noticer. Confirmed, same page.
I wrote Sylvia gains a little weight side eye.
Yeah, clearly.
Arden does a baby scheming.
He's like psyched. He's like, oh my god, really? No. Meanwhile, like after Audrina says, hey, this teacher kind of fucking diddled around, Arden apparently goes
to take care of it.
Oh, no. No! There's so much rosé on the floor now.
Oh, shit.
Damn it. I nudged it over with... Well, good thing I have a towel on the bed.
There you go.
Pizza...
Yo, dude. Yo.
My pizza towel is now a rosé towel.
Okay, friends, we're back. We didn't stop recording, but we're back. So... Anyway, yeah, Arden does a baby scheme, and he's like, we gotta find someone who can keep a secret to confirm this pregnancy, because HIPAA still doesn't exist in 2016.
It's 2016 in this book, but whatever fucking fake year it is in the other book.
And big honkin' and honk woof, Arden with his dinner time pregnancy announcement.
Yeah.
He could not be, he's like, I love Sylvia so much, and I didn't say she was brain damaged, and she can actually cook. Because Audrina she goes to, all of her time is teaching Sylvia what you would call in the billable world, living skills. Mm-hmm. Cooking, cleaning. So there's a plum sauce that Arden loves, and Sylvia makes it perfectly.
But Arden's like, you let her do it? And then
but now he's all
like,
nice,
wow.
Now that she's all pregnant, side-eye, mysteriously. Oh, and Audrina believes it is I'm sorry. At this point, we, the reader, have been informed that it is Mr. Price's baby, because he obviously did a rape-ins on her. And sorry, yes.
And Arden's like, oh, I happen to know a nurse. I have something that I'm holding over her.
I have
Secret dirts about this nurse.
So but Arden is like, he's so pumped. He's like, we can take Sylvia to restaurants. Let's go to fancy restaurant. And then he's like, my wife Audrina is pregnant. What?
And she's like, fucking what?
Fucking what? But for real though, Audrina should know better than anyone about secrets.
No.
I know.
But don't victim shame her. Blame, shame, shame.
Blame, shame, victim, blame.
So like immediately she was like, oh, this nurse's last name, that sounds familiar. He's like, yeah, one of her kids went to school with this, whatever. So it's just like, okay,
that'll come back.
The mom is 1,000% like the mom of one of the assailants.
Oh, I didn't even.
It's right here.
You don't have to. I believe you.
Beep bop boop beep beep boop.
Don't beatbox.
This nurse Arden knows. She mom of assaulter? Immediately.
Sylvia keeps insisting that there's a baby in Audrina, because the scheme that they concoct is that Sylvia's going to have the baby and Audrina's going to fake a pregnancy. Classic VC trope. If there is a pregnancy and someone isn't faking a pregnancy, I don't know where we are. So that's what's happening. And Arden is like, well, Sylvia's fucking retarded, so you're going to have to like pretend to be pregnant. And Sylvia's like, it's your baby, too. You have a baby in you. And Audrina's like, do I fucking have a baby?
Also, before all that shit happened, she, like, drew a picture of the baby, and it was, like, some weird little old man devil child.
It really was.
That doesn't come back.
Not at all.
No reason for that.
Not at all.
No reason for that. Did you think, because of how things were, like, did you think that for maybe a hot minute they were also gaslighting Audrina into thinking that she wasn't pregnant when she was?
Yes.
I did, too.
Okay. Because I was like, there was... For once, I was like, awesome. Like, yeah. She's gonna fart out a baby too.
Yeah, and then be like, whoa, like, I was looking for that, like, extra layer of, like, fucked up. Like, she was so, like, concerned and, like, consumed with what happened to Sylvia.
Then she's like, did I feel a baby?
No,
Did
she
you?
Didn't.
She didn't.
She didn't.
Yeah. So Mrs. Matthews is the nurse that Arden has dirt on. She's a spindly lurch lady.
Yep.
And she was like, no stairs for pregnant ladies.
Everyone move downstairs.
What? Okay. And then she's like, I'll be here every 2 days. Every 2 days?
I don't know.
Every 2 days?
And then more often later.
And more often later. That is not how often you see a nurse when you're pregnant.
Maybe it was in 19...
Once a month. Also, everybody moves downstairs except Arden.
Of course.
He was like, fuck that.
There was a note. I don't know what it was. I guess I took bad notes. I thought it was going to be better. There's a quote that I just have randomly written down, which says, I looked down, tears bubbling like boiling milk. And then on page 234, someone mentions cerulean blue eyes.
No, these are great notes for a book that was all over the fucking place.
It was all over the fucking place.
And yet somehow nowhere. And somehow
like
nowhere.
White Fern, where is it? Everywhere, nowhere. I don't know.
I have all caps. No vacuums for pregnant ladies.
No, don't touch anything.
Don't fucking touch anything.
And she's like, I'm at home. Why can't I help? They're like, if you see anyone, they're going to have to believe you're pregnant.
Decepticons. Audrina almost. See, I wrote down Audrina almost feels pregnant side eye because I was like, they're obviously gonna like roll that out that he was like baby.
I really
thought that
would have been a fucking cool reveal.
Call us.
That it wasn't really
call us
that it wasn't really Sylvia the whole time. And that was Audrina like putting her mental trauma into that.
See, he needs to call us next time he's given
Meterman
a advance. We'll take a little cash. Mrs. Matthews is like, your shit is dusty. She's like, this shit is dusty. Why do you have all this garbage? She definitely says that.
Literal quote.
Yeah,
your shit is dusty. Why do you have all this garbage?
Papa tells Sylvia the baby's name, but it's a girl name. But Papa said the baby was going to be a boy. I have so many questions about secret Papa talkings.
I know. I mean, we know what they are, but yeah.
This whole business is getting sketchier. Like, she's wearing, like, a fake wool pregnancy belly. And, like, Audrina she goes and gets herself tranked again.
Do you want a piece of chocolate?
Yeah. She goes and gets herself tranked again.
Milk or dark?
Dark.
Nope, wrong one.
Who's been brought to you by gluttony.
And crinkling.
And sloth. And floor wine. She gets herself tranked.
Oh, I had another one about the fake complications at the grocery store.
Wow, I wrote grocery trip. I haven't even gotten there yet.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Let's see. Family. I'm just going to read my notes.
Sure, go ahead.
Go ahead. Family is like investment. Heartwarming. Papa always said, you got to have thick skin to walk amongst the bees.
What?
When did
Sure do, sure. Thanks, Papa.
Shaking Sylvia during labor, okay. Audrina has to give fake birth, lol.
Yeah, that's way earlier. I mean, that's way later.
Okay, yep.
They
went to the grocery store.
They went to the grocery store, like, because Nurse Matthews was like, hey, we got to have someone see you in public. And let's go. You have to put on some weight, too. So that way you can lose weight because you're having a baby, but you're not having a baby. And she's like, okay. And then she, like, faked this thing.
She had, like, an episode.
I can't do that on your Apple Watch.
This is a train wreck of an episode.
Thanks, Siri. Just tossed my Apple Watch into the abyss. Where all of a sudden she was like, hey, stand here. Oh my God, this woman needs help. Basically because they didn't want to stand in line to check out their groceries. That's what
Mrs. Message is like, yeah, fucking did that, didn't I?
And then Dr. Prescott calls, and he's like, hey. Because they see the fucking
teacher.
The ex-principal at the school. And she's like, oh, I'm from this. Anyways. And she's like, oh, you didn't hear about Mr. Price? He had a stroke. And she's like, what stroke? And then Miss Matthews was like, just go with what I say. And they pretend like she's got a thing. And then Dr. Prescott, who is their real doctor.
Family doctor, yeah.
Called to check in. And he's like, so
why didn't you come to me?
Pregnant?
Like, I'm your fucking doctor?
What's going on with that?
And she was like, we have a private nurse, thank you.
And then like, Audrina's given sneaky tranquilizers after that.
Okay. She got herself tranked.
Yep.
Was it in her food? Or just like, or was it like under the guise of like, you need to rest?
It was in the food.
Was it?
Yeah, it was in the food.
Or like the tea or something?
Yeah, it was in what she was being fed.
Family's like an investment.
And then Sylvia goes into early labor because apparently that's what happens to first moms / developmentally disabled moms.
Sure. Okay.
And
And Audrina has to give fake birth.
She has to
She like
alternate
holds the
labor.
baby in because Audrina's not giving fake birth.
Yep. They're giving birth to our baby.
Sylvia's pretty non-responsive after birth, and Mrs. Matthews gives zero fucking shits.
No one gives a shit. They're like, she's fucking fine.
Quote, I'm worried about Sylvia. Quote, we'll stop it.
Yeah.
Can you just not?
And then Arden's like, hey, I redecorated First Audrina's room into a nursery.
And she's like, wow, trauma.
I'm actually surprised. She's like, what happened to the stuff? And he's like, it's in the basement. You can go through it. That was actually shocking.
Surprise is not in the dump.
Yeah, I know.
There's a weird celebration dinner the fucking day that the baby's delivered.
Yep.
And
then the very first night...
Arden's pissed he has to clear the table.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah,
Which is funny as shit to me.
Because they're being like, Audrina, you have to act like you just gave birth. And she's like, okay.
Then I guess I shouldn't do any housework.
And then they're like, and then Mrs. Matthews is like, clean this table. And she's like, I feel like I should really lean into like the fact that I just gave birth, though. And then Miss Matthews is like, all right, yeah, Arden, you clean. He's like, I haven't cleared a table since. And she's like, since tonight. I loved that sass so much. But they like bring a bassinet up into Arden and Audrina's room because she can sleep with him again. And the very first night, he's just like, I need to sleep, you know, because he's like, oh, the baby made a noise. Go sleep with your sister.
Brokerage.
Immediately.
The baby's parents are Sylvia and Audrina.
Yes.
Great. I love it. I do love it. Fuck that guy. And then I wrote Mrs. Matthews' secret, Woof.
Yep. I wrote, yep, I was correct. Mrs. Matthews saw an assailant.
Philip. Need more names. He's got 6 names. Her son's name was Philip.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. I was like, which Philip?
Arden used Mrs. Matthews' services in college?
Arden has knocked up random ladies, random number.
Like, what does that mean?
We don't know. We actually don't know.
There's a grocery trip. She goes to where they take the baby to the grocery store.
Audrina and Sylvia with the baby. Yeah, with
Mrs. Matthews
Adele the baby.
Adele the baby. Which is Audrina's middle name. Mm-hmm. Audrina Adele. Did we even know that from the first book?
I don't remember.
I don't think so. Yep. We're speeding. It's happening. So they go to the groceries, and it's set up that Sylvia is a pretty good mom. I just want to say that. And I think that I caught that it's noted that she pays a lot of attention when Audrina's like, this is how you warm the bottle.
Yep.
This is how you, and she like is very eager to learn. She is very like, and then she picks it up quicker than I think anything she's ever picked up. Yep. So developmentally delayed folks can have children.
Some people are just born to be mothers. Or instincts are real. How's that?
Who knows?
Instincts can be real. And yeah, so they see Miss Hayter, whatever, and who's the principal at Audrina's school, and she was like, "Oh, Mr. Price died. You didn't know he died of heart failure." And then conveniently, when they get home, right when they get home, mystery car, and it is
Mrs. Price,
the widow.
And so Audrina's like, I feel like your husband really took advantage of my sister here. And she's just like, I know that, but I just want you to know that my husband was always about the arts, and it was most likely not improper. He loves beautiful things. And she's like ripped shit that she has no forgiveness.
Yeah.
Which I found, it was a very interesting scene in that Audrina's like, I guess I hear you, but I don't have forgiveness for you. And
she was like struggling. But she was also struggling with it too. She was like, I felt super bad for this lady, but no. My sister got assaulted.
Yeah. She's like, I don't have this forgiveness for you.
Yeah. She was struggling. And then she was like, well, you know what? I'm going to drop the T. Your husband knocked up my sister. And then Mrs. Widow Price was waiting, like,
honka honk.
Actually, he had bowel cancer when he was young, and all of our children were adopted.
I feel like we've been waiting for the big daddy reveal forever.
Waiting.
I know, but like we know, but like we all know that it was fucking Arden's baby. I've just been waiting for the reveal. Why did I write down Papa's secrets?
I don't know, but like something that I had a problem with was like Mrs. Price being like, don't be cross. He was just an artist who was moved by beautiful things. That doesn't mean you can ask someone to take their clothes off who doesn't understand what you're asking them. And to, like, pose their body nude.
I mean, yeah.
Like, they just, like, we were supposed to be like, oh my God, he really just was into the arts. No, especially if he's worked with developmentally disabled children. You can't take advantage of them.
No boundaries.
You would be like, hey, Audrina, I know this is weird, but, like, let's talk about this. Like, I think that her form is beautiful. We can, like, figure out how, like, to explain this to her.
That's a great
like,
point.
Yeah. I thought that was so, it was like, oh, he had ball cancer, he couldn't have knocked her up. And he was just an artist. No.
He's an innocent.
He is not an innocent. Absolutely not. He still asked this girl,
Questionably diagnosed human.
yeah, to take her top off. If he really was, like, all about the arts, then you have a conversation and you're like,
You get consent.
She could be an incredible model, like, this will help her understand art. It will help her understand boundaries between, like, people's intentions. Like, hi, this is a safe place for you to do this nude. If someone asks you to do this, that's not okay. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You're looking at your own notes.
I
You don't
am.
care.
I kind of abruptly end. So here's what I got. Mrs. Price is rip shit. She has no forgiveness. We've been waiting for the daddy reveal forever. But Papa's secrets. Is that when... It's revealed that when Sylvia likes to rock in the chair and Arden's been, like, hissy whispering from the distance that it's Papa, and he's been like, you have to fuck Arden. I don't know. You go fuck that guy. I'm checking in with you to know if you've written down, and then I wrote down, our beautiful child. Why did I write that?
I don't know.
Okay, great. I also wrote, it's not rape. Arden did what had to be done.
Yeah, and then Arden was like, yeah, and they have to assault your mentally handicapped sister again so I can have a son. Just throwing it out. Like, she confronts him and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, I did that because...
Yeah, also, why haven't you signed the papers?
Yeah. He brings that back and he's like, so you're not doing that either, and you're not giving me children. Eat my ass.
Of course I needed to do this.
And yeah, and he's like, yeah, I'm a fucking genius because it's my blood and your family's blood. So I'm a fucking genius.
And then Audrina's like, nah, son.
You should be thanking me. And Audrina tells Arden to get the fuck out. Oh no, there's a fight on the stairs.
Yeah, and well, Arden immediately falls down the stairs and dies after that.
Yeah. I think
He's kind of flailing, and then Sylvia's like, oop.
Yeah, she
just pokes him in the shoulder, and he goes crashing down. And his neck all bends funny on one of the stairs, and he's dead now. Okay. And then, like, there's funeral, and it's like talks about how his secretary, like, acted like someone who had lost, like, we're like, oh,
lost
okay.
a lover. Again, nothing. So he's like,
Yeah, like, something that you
okay,
didn't,
I'm sorry. My eyebrows were crossed because I couldn't understand this note I wrote. And now I do. He's like, Niederman's like a shitty Shyamalan. Like an M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, wow.
You know
Yeah.
there's a twist coming. But Niederman is, like, with Shyamalan, you're like, oh. But with Niederman, it's like, oh, that's exactly what I thought.
Thanks for getting to it a million times years later, and
Yeah.
also not as good as I thought you were going to do.
A shitty Shyamalan. I didn't...
So, like, a current Shyamalan.
There we go. Ouch.
Yeah, and then so Arden's dead, they fucking put him in the ground, whatever, and then the book ends with Audrina and Sylvia and Adele all, like, waltzing.
Arden's absence didn't appear to bother Sylvia very much. She was far too occupied with Adele and with me caring for the house. Occasionally she would pause and look like she was about to ask after him, but then she would shake her head slightly and nod as though she was really hearing Papa. So they don't give two shits. They raise this kid together.
Yep.
There's two sisters raising a baby in a crumbling old Victorian.
The end. What did we learn from this?
Fuck all. Yeah, I'm upset by this book.
This sequel is not necessary.
Of all the unnecessary sequels and or prequels,
This is one.
this is one.
This is the one so far.
I mean, Darkest Hour.
Yeah, I know, but, like, why did it go to something like 30 years later?
It really was. It really didn't need to happen.
No.
2016.
And then to just, like, completely change your characters? Like, there was no, like, Papa was dead immediately. It's not like we saw Arden changing under Papa's tutelage and, like, saw, like,
They're just like
failing health, changing Arden, and like giving him more responsibility, and like
Arden. I forgot.
anxiety.
I didn't know. Neither of us noted this, but Arden drinks a lot and goes out a lot. He gets into the blackberry wine.
Yeah, and he's definitely just like. That's the thing. We also didn't get enough details about like things that we usually get details about. It was like
And such as
like, oh, like we talked about his secretary. It was like she was acting weird, but like that was a totally unrealized plot point. Like
they probably had an affair.
yeah.
He's always out with dinner with clients.
One time he answered her phone breathless.
Coming.
I just anyways.
Midges.
I hated this.
Oh yeah, it was not a good ones.
It was I read it in like 2 days too.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
No, I'm not, because like I didn't want to waste more of my life on it.
I don't even know. Usually when we have a prequel and or sequel, we're just like, read it anyway. Maybe you don't read this one.
Yeah, it's
You
really
don't need to.
It's not a lot of new stuff. Like
It's a lot of inaccurate, backwards
it's
stuff.
a lot of fake callbacks,
fake callbacks.
and then you're like, okay, someone's pregnant who shouldn't be pregnant, so someone else who should be pregnant is going to pretend like they're pregnant. A la Olivia.
Yeah. The fake pregnancy is getting to be a classic. Yeah, I mean, it really didn't need to happen.
No.
And I know we say this a lot, but who's editing these? Is there a checker?
Let me do it.
Is there is there a quality assurance? Is there a compliance level?
Literally no QA at all.
There's no compliance and or quality assurance. No one looked through the final draft and said, "Yo, this says the older sister, but you meant younger sister." Just one little word. Just one. Is anyone else bothered by this?
I would like to know, please.
I need to Google this. Like White Fern reviews. Do people care? Do people care?
I don't know.
This is so
I think
bad.
we definitely we're living.
We're the specialists on this now.
Yeah, we're living in a corner of the world where we're alone, but we can't be alone.
Did anyone else see all of these wild inaccuracies? And hey, I'm not even talking about Arden being a dick now. People change. Sure. I am talking about factual inaccuracies. In no world. In no fucking world did Audrina, Sylvia, Vera, and Elsbeth all get drunk in the same house.
Nope, they did not.
No fucking world did that happen.
No. Nope. But in this house,
It do be happening.
yeah, you can't do that with the bubbles.
I know.
All right, dear listener. I'm sorry / you're welcome, I guess.
I mean, this kind of, I don't know.
If you've also gone where we've
I don't
gone.
know. I mean, I feel like I'm so
Sorry.
The more I think about it, the more upset I am at its existence.
Yeah.
It didn't need to happen.
That's what she said.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Money. Why would you go back to? Why would you write a sequel? Audrina was special. She was a little standalone book.
Like if you're gonna, yeah.
Although we haven't dipped into like the Christopher Diaries.
I'm sure those are gonna be necessary too. But at least there was like a bunch of other stuff already.
What do you mean?
Like there's all the Dollenganger books.
For background? Hey,
Yeah.
we don't know what Christopher wrote in his Mr. Diary.
We don't. But what I'm saying is, this was just one book hanging out for 30 years, and he was like, you know what?
Let me fart out a goddamn sequel. I'm sorry this book happened to you, dear listener. You don't have to read it. Please. Actually, you know what? Please don't. Do not. I don't want this book hitting the billboard sales. Those are for music, not for books. Don't buy this.
Don't put it back on the New York Times where I don't think
do
it
that.
ever was.
If you see it actually at your Goodwill or a bookstore, just steal it and get rid of it. So
Don't steal.
Sure. Just, no one needs to know about this book. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible.
It was really bad.
I enjoyed that our notes very much reflected the book. There's no timeline. It's helter-skelter. Things are happening. ipso facto, this, that, and the other.
If you've read a bunch of V.C. Andrews, you already immediately know what's going to happen. So you're like, why am I reading this? Yeah.
The end.
I don't know. But next we'll
Next
be doing
family is the Landry
family.
Starting with Ruby Tuesday.
Which we've both cracked open, and it's a refreshing...
It's
a refreshing swamp breeze.
It's a swampy, refreshing breeze. Like from my ass cheeks. That was like a swamp-ass joke.
Goodbye, dear listener.
I love you.
Thanks for listening to VC's Pieces podcast. We hope you enjoyed it.
Technical support was provided by Boo and Matt. Thank you for answering all of my stupid questions.
Music is Dust in My Attic by Broke MC, used under Creative Commons license.
Email us at vcspiecespodcast@gmail.com with your thoughts and comments.
You can also follow us on Instagram. We are at VC's Pieces Podcast.
New episodes are released every other Friday to give you time to read along. In the meantime, creep around the cupola, wonder what day it is.
And for your own good, stay out of the woods.
Ugh.